According to reports from the Daily Star, which have been reiterated by the Mirror, Jadon Sancho looks set to move away from Manchester United when the transfer window reopens in January, following crisis talks between Ten Hag and Sancho. This whole ordeal dates back to the 3rd of September, when Manchester United travelled to North London to face Arsenal at the Emirates. Sancho didn't travel with the team and was omitted from the matchday squad. When the absence was questioned by journalists, Ten Hag said it was due to poor performances in training leading up to the game. Later that evening, Sancho tweeted a statement saying that what had been said about him wasn't true. He had trained well, that he'd been made a scapegoat, and there are other reasons why this is happening. Obviously, there's a lot more to come out from this story, and don't be surprised if we see something like a tell-all interview similar to what happened with Ronaldo last year. Now, my opinion on this whole thing is that Sancho should never play for Manchester United ever again. He's totally undermined the manager and said that he was a liar, pretty much. However, on the other side, Ten Hag should never have come out and said the things that he said in the press conference. I mean, look, if you think Sancho hasn't been training well, then tell him behind closed doors. Don't go out in front of the whole world and sort of air him out for it. That isn't like a professional thing for a manager to do, because then you're inviting Sancho to respond. You can't go out and talk publicly about someone and then be annoyed when that person tries to have their side of the story be told. Ten Hag would have been much better off saying something like he was ill or he was injured, which is why I didn't travel with the squad, or some simple throwaway response like that, and then privately have a conversation with Sancho saying you haven't been training properly, and if you don't book up your ideas, then we're going to have an issue here, as opposed to making an issue. No, instead, what he's done, he's gone and made a massive public drama between himself and a player. And this isn't even the first time it's happened under Ten Hag. You can look at what happened between him and Ronaldo. You've seen lots of similarities here. And the whole thing's becoming a bit of a circus, like a media circus, and it could have been totally avoided with better man management from Ten Hag. The issue is now is that Ten Hag's got a player in Sancho who he can't really play anymore because it's going to totally undermine him as a manager. So he can't play him for the next 3 months until January. And the issue is now is that Manchester United's two senior first team wingers in Anthony and Sancho both can't play. And Manchester United are going to be in a bit of a tricky situation until January, and they can get some reinforcements in. I mean, even someone like Pellistri hasn't been given much of a chance on the Ten Hag. When he's come on, he's looked somewhat impressive, but you can't rely on him for the next few months. So you don't really know what they're going to do. Are they going to have to play Sancho, and Ten Hag's going to have to undermine himself, but they're going to have to do that for squad depth, or they're going to have to cut off the nose to spite the face, not play Sancho, take a hit in terms of the performances and the results because they don't have a proper senior right winger to play, but just sort of say, we're going to back Ten Hag, he's going to be our man, and Sancho just can't play because of what he said. Overall, this is just a really messy situation, and I think this sort of perfectly embodies the absolute shambles that is modern Manchester United. But yeah, that's just my view on this whole situation. Thanks for watching.